Yo, what up, friends? So tomorrow or today or when you're watching this, the Shifting Stones event is going to be upon us. Now, if you've been keeping up with Path of Exile and what's been going on in Total League, you'll know that now at the end of November, we have a bunch of events going on, and one of the events that I'm particularly excited to play about is Shifting Stones. Now, on the POE website before you, you'll see that November 17th starts the event. The event will start at 2 p.m. PST, which is 5 o'clock Eastern, which the website will show you like when and where, and there'll be a link to this in the description down below. But a bunch of people have been asking me about the event, what I plan on playing, how I plan on like just spending my time and attention. And I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about my plan, what's going on, and how it's happening. Now, over the last 2 weeks, there have been different events. Unfortunately, I did not get a chance to play them, but the Discord's been crazy active. A bunch of people have been playing in all the events. I got to play Blast from the Past for a little bit, and people have just been grouping together, getting together, talking about their builds and their Atlas strategies and all kinds of different things, both in the community on Twitch and in Discord, and they've been coming together and just kind of playing together. So if you're planning on playing Shifting Stones and you're only going to 50, then, you know, I understand. But if you're planning on going past 50, or you're looking for a cool Atlas strategy, or you're looking for a way to level up, well, this might be a good video for you. Now, one of my biggest, I don't even want to say like downsides to these events, one of the things that I dislike the most is the minus 50% to experience loss. And when I started playing in Blast from the Past, I started on Lightning Arrow and I would die, you know, typical Ranger things, and I would like lose a bunch of experience, and leveling was really hard, and you know, it was really disheartening. So I like re-rolled, and I'll show you my character in a minute. And I just wanted to find a way to level up. Normally, like in League, you would just go hop in some 5-ways, get some levels, be on your way. Or normally in events, you would just go play, and if you die, who cares, you know, moving on. Unfortunately, I'm not the best of players, so I tend to die often, and it takes me a little bit of time to level up. And I'm sure, you know, some of you guys too die and are looking for ways to like level up. Now, if the title or the thumbnail hasn't given it away, I'm going to talk to you guys about Blight and how that's going to solve this issue. But let's talk about the event first and what's going on. First and foremost, the event I think is really cool. I'm really excited to play it. Gives us a bunch of different rotating things every so many minutes, like every 15 minutes, things will change. So when the event starts, you'll either have Tormented Spirits, you'll have Blight, Legion, Delirium, or Beyond, and every zone is going to have something different, and every zone is going to be awesome. This means that when we get to maps, that one map for 15 minutes is going to have nothing but Blight. One map for 15 minutes is going to have nothing but Delirium, Beyond, Legion, and the same thing for the Axe. Like when we're going through the zones, you're just going to like maybe walk into Mudflats and Cassie is going to be like, "What's up, man?" And you're going to be like, "Wow, you're never here." I'm going to farm a little bit of Cassia for like the 15 minutes. I know some players are already freaking out saying they're going to rush to maps, and I get it. But you know what? For me in this event, I want to have a little bit of fun. I want to explore some things, and you know, I might try a build that's a little different. Now, one of the reasons why this is important, and one of the reasons why I want to bring this up, if we get to maps and a map for 15 minutes has Blight and rotates every 15 minutes, that means that we don't have to worry about Scarabs, and that means getting Blight maps will be pretty easy. So, looking at, for example, Blast from the Past, if I go down the map filters and I select Blight, and I just say, I don't know, map tier 13, whoops, hotkey, sorry about that. If I hit map tier 13 and hit search, you'll see there is plenty of maps to be had. Plenty and plenty and plenty of maps to be had. Now, there's only 40 maps that are at tier 13 or better. That's because this is the end of the event. The event ends in like less, or like 12-ish or 14-ish hours. So, you know, there's not a lot of people playing. But if I were to search for any tier Blighted map, there's 57. Why is this important? Well, essentially, since maps are going to have Blight and we could just force Blight and we don't need to worry about like, you know, getting Scarabs and stuff, we can set up an Atlas tree to push our Atlas and get right into Blight and not have to worry about all the nuances of getting Cassia to spawn. And with Cassia spawning and Blight map spawning, we have a really easy way to get a bunch of experience, and I'll showcase that in a few minutes and, you know, show you why that's so important. Now, what I want to talk about is my plan for the event. I have to decide on a build still. I'm still toying between a lot of things. So if you want to see what build I end up choosing or what route I go, there'll be another video following up after the event, and I'll talk about what build I did, why I liked it, why I disliked it, how the event went, my thoughts and everything on it. But if you want to catch what I'm doing live, stop on over by the Twitch stream, and that'll give you a first-hand look at what I'm doing. You can follow along with my progression and how things are going. Now, when I get to maps, my plan is to do the following. Originally, I've talked about this in other videos before, I'm going to be coming up this way, and I'll have a link to this in the description down below, where I'm going to be doing a very simple atlas tree that just comes up this way and goes straight to Wandering Path. Now, I go straight to Wandering Path on my first couple of points because I want to progress my atlas. I'd like to ideally get to red maps as fast as possible. I'd like to be able to get a nice map pool going, and I want to be able to farm those red tier Blight encounters as quick and fast as possible. Now, if my character is too weak, or I don't get enough experience, or I'm struggling and I'm dying, I also want to be able to just get a map pool and generate a map pool. So essentially what we're going to do is we're just going to go to Wandering Path, and then we're going to take a bunch of nodes that allow us to just kind of get a bunch of extra maps and tier up our maps and guarantee us the fact that we'll be able to drop 100% chance of our connected map. Now, once you see here, we have a 100% chance to drop our connected map. And once again, like I said, I'll have a post of this down below. We want to essentially just get some higher tier map drop chance, and we want to just get some map duplication chance. Now, if we're going to be doing some Blight shenanigans, and we're going to be farming our own Blighted maps, if you've ever like watched any of my Blight farming videos, you know right away very quick that we want to get these map duplication nodes as fast as possible. And essentially we want to be able to guarantee that, oh, I guess I took too many points in the wrong direction, but I'll clean this up and you guys won't have to worry. So that we stay at 100%, but we get map duplication chance. But essentially you'll see right away that as soon as we get a good chance for maps to duplicate, we essentially just want to take out Wandering Path and start getting our Blighted nodes. Now, we're already going to have Cassius Pride because Cassius Pride is just going to be on. And, you know, we don't want to, like, not be able to get Blighted maps. Like, that's the whole point of what we're doing. And essentially, as soon as we start progressing our Atlas and our character gets a little bit strong and we're able to do things, we can just essentially do a normal Blighted tree. Now, I know this is 101 points. I know a lot of players aren't going to get to 101 points. And like I said, there'll be breakdowns and different ways you can do this, and you don't have to follow us exactly the way that I'm doing it. But essentially what we want to do is we want to just get enough map points to essentially sustain a map pool, get a map pool, get a watchstone, maybe 2 watchstones, and just farm red tier maps on a 15-minute rotation. So for 15 minutes, we know this map is going, we farm a bunch of maps, we get a bunch of Blighted maps, we go do our Blighted maps, we figure out what the next map is that has Blight on it, we do a bunch of those, and we so forth, and we go on. Now, if you're going to say, how do I know which map has Blight, which going where, what do I do, who's this and what's this? The Discord will be a really great place. You'll be able to ask there and talk to the community there with a bunch of people playing the event. I'm sure someone at some point somewhere will know what map has Blight, and we can just kind of go off and do that. Now, I know I showed you this. I'm going to be posting this down below, and I'll give you a breakdown of each way that I do this. And like I mentioned, Blighted maps are pretty much existent, and you should be able to either buy them or farm them yourselves. But one of the main reasons that I want to show you why these are so important is in the events, there are prizes that you can enter into a raffle at 70, 80, 85, 90, and 95. Now, for me personally, I think the 85 set looks really cool. I wouldn't mind getting into the 90. I wouldn't mind getting into the 95. And I know there's a bunch of people who are saying, just go do maps, just go play the campaign, just go do things. You'll level, no problem. You'll have a lot of fun. You're right, I will, but I like Blight, and I like Blight a lot. And Blight is really a cheat code to just getting experience. And what I mean is a cheat code to getting experience. Like, I can't make this up. It is literally a cheat code. So what I have now is I have a Blighted map here. I have a tier 13 Blighted map. My character still relies on amber oils a little bit. So we're going to put a little bit of amber oil. And then I'm going to put essentially, oops, that's the wrong one. 2 verdant oils on this. This will give me a 90% experience gain. Now, as your character gets stronger and you get more gear and you farm more currency, because this is a trade event, you'll actually be able to farm your own Blight Ravaged maps and get even more experience and do more things. So just like in any old Blight, we're going to take this, we're going to pretty much just chisel our map, we're going to alk our map, we're going to make sure there's nothing really weird or strange, like any kind of reflect. Ideally, we'd like to avoid the can't be stunned, can't be chilled shenanigans. We're going to corrupt our map. Now, I corrupt all of my maps because I know and I'm very comfortable in Blight and I know I can do these, so I corrupt all of my maps. And essentially, we're going to go run the Blighted map. Now, if you have them, you want to bring these, you want to bring extras, you know, midnight fragments. They'll give you more quant, more everything to just kind of like boost up your maps and so forth and so on. So unfortunately, when I loaded into the last map and started the encounter and started recording and talking about what was going on in the Blight encounter, my game crashed, I logged back in, I lost the encounter, I died, and unfortunately I don't have experience to show you. But what's really cool about the retake or the refilm is, well, one, we have a map. It is juiced again, it's got the same oils on it, we get to start again, and two, I essentially just don't have any experience. So you guys now can see a fresh run with a full set of experience and just kind of how it's going to go. I do apologize about the cut. I do apologize about the loss of experience. Unfortunately, things were out of my control and I don't know what the heck happened or why I crashed, but typical Blight things. If any of you guys have any suggestions or, you know, anything about how to deal with the crashes sometimes that happen in Blight, because I know there's a lot of you guys that are always asking me, please, by all means, leave a comment down below. Hopefully we can figure it out together. But going into Blight, I have plenty of guides and plenty of beginner strategies that will really talk to you and work you through or walk you through how to set up your towers, how to build things. But essentially, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of what's going on right now. These lanes that are yellow are the lanes that are on. They are the lanes that are spawning mobs, and they're essentially the lanes that we're going to have to be dealing with. Now, we're going to be using all of our resources. We're going to be building a ton of towers, and we're going to do the essential Blight strategy. We're going to build an empowering tower. We're going to put it to 3. We're going to build a freezing tower. Not yet. We're going to build a seismic tower. We're going to bring it to 3. And we're just going to do the same thing that you would do in a regular Blighted map. We're going to attempt to stun everything. We're going to attempt to stop everything. We're going to build a bunch of towers at choke points. And normally we would have ring annoyance and we would just be able to do like the standard Blight cheese where we just build like one type of tower. We freeze and we chill everything. But assuming in this event we don't have those materials yet, things are a little bit more hard to come by. We essentially just have to give the materials that we're given and kind of work with it. Now, when I finish this Blighted map, I'll do another Blighted map so that you guys can see 2 instances of Blighted maps. That one will be at the end of this video, and that one will just showcase to you just how much experience you get in these maps. This is a 78 map. I have another tier 13 that I'll like run through and show you guys, and you'll just be able to get like a really good feel for the amount of experience that you'll get, what to expect out of the Blighted map, so forth and so on. Now, for those of you wondering how I'm figuring out what towers I want to build, the symbol inside of the little bubble tells me what they're immune to. Hence why I said right here, we're not going to build a freezing tower because this lane is freeze immune. And I just don't want to get caught up in freeze towers. But everything else so far, there's one lane that's lightning immune, one lane that's fire immune, and nothing is stun immune. So this stun immune tower right here is going to keep everything pretty much locked down. We're going to make sure that we don't move too far away, because if we move too far away, essentially all of our towers will stop working. So we really want something, we want one of these bosses to die like immediately so that we can like start building better stuff here, because we're going to need it. Now, if you have this issue like I'm having right now, where like, you know, you don't have enough juice or your character can't kill things and you're just kind of struggling a little bit, it is okay to use more amber oil to guarantee that you do not lose the map. Essentially, the most important thing in the world right now is not losing the map. Because if we lose the map, we lose currency. If we lose currency, we're not progressing. If we're not progressing and we're not doing things, we're just not getting to where we want to be, and things aren't going our way, and we're losing and we're dying and we're not getting experience, and everything feels bad and people become sad, and you know, the whole song and dance of everything that's like sucks to begin with. So you'll see here, we know we're going to have another lane of units spawning here. We know nothing is going to be immune to our seismic tower. We're going to put that at level 3, and we're going to start building some damaging towers over here. Our top choke point right there is pretty much clear. We have nothing to worry about there. But essentially on the downside over here, we have a nice little tower set up. I'd like to build another damaging tower over here, which I'm going to work towards just to kind of clean this up a little bit without having to worry. Now our top is good, our bottom is good, everything is pretty much locked down, and we're pretty much just in like cruise control mood for right now. I'll start building some extra towers just to be on the safe side. This freezing tower is not really going to help much on this side because these towers are now on. But, you know, I just built it out of habit, and, you know, it is okay to build a bunch of towers. It is okay to build extra towers. It is okay to spend your currency and your resources, because you never know what's going to happen or what you're going to need. Now, the only downside to these events is sometimes Blight is a little weird. Blight is a little strange, and Blight will just sometimes kill you out of nowhere because you'll hear that shh of the little whiz of the little humming ball of doom, or the spider will shoot you with some poison. So while you never really need to attack or never really need to do anything until your character is a little bit stronger, a little bit more defensive. Oh God, did I just build the wrong tower over there? I did. Try to level up my skill gem. You just want to pay a little bit of attention and make sure that you don't accidentally get killed somewhere along the lines, or someone doesn't leak, or something strange doesn't happen, because that is a thing. Oh, see, there they are. There they are. Little balls of doom. Little balls. I knew it. I knew it. Those little sneaky little things. Now, I had mentioned at the start of this, or right before this run started, that I was 50% into experience. I died in the last one and the map crashed and I lost it. I had to redo the map. And you see, starting at 0%, we are now at 76% experience going into this map. And that's insane. Like, that's really good. I know somebody's going to be like, it's faster to map and kill things, and it's this and it's that. And you know what? It might be. And that might be the thing for you and the thing you want to do. But I love Blight. I love being here. I love how safe it is. And you'll see, as soon as this map is over and we get this cleared up now, the amount of loot that we're going to get, especially in a timed limited event, is just going to be out of this world. Especially like if you struggle to get to red tier maps, or you struggle to move on, or like alks are a problem. Like, if anything becomes a problem, or any small currencies are eluding you, this will right away just fix all of your problems. You will literally be able to go into a blighted map like we're doing right now, do one, maybe two of them, and a lot of your problems of this small league will be solved. Literally will be solved. Now you'll see right away, a massive amount of loot is coming from the explosion. We got some jewelers, some scouting reports, a bunch of really cool rares, some div cards. We got 78% experience towards our level. We got some chrome, some jewelers, some fusings, and just like essentially all kinds of really good stuff, especially in a league start scenario, that just kind of like help out and just kind of get the ball rolling. Now, in Blast from the past, there was a really good trade economy, and a lot of these smaller currencies ended up moving for chaos very easily. So you should be able to take a lot of these smaller currencies and be able to move them for exactly what you're looking for, and just kind of get everything rolling to just kind of get you where you need to be. Now, as you start doing these blighted maps, you'll start getting other oils, and you'll be able to eventually anoint your rings. You'll have more oils to anoint your maps, and you'll never really run out of resources. The only thing that's going to be a pain in the butt, the only thing that you're really going to have to do, is you're going to have to move the smaller currencies to get more chaos, to buy more maps. Now, essentially, with it being a rotating Blight system, us putting points in our Atlas tree to get Blight, we're planning on doing the following. We're going to level in Blight, so we're not going to worry about dying inside of a map. If we die in a map, c'est la vie, it is fine. But essentially, we're going to want to use our maps to farm our own blighted maps, or we're going to use our maps to farm extra blighted maps. We're going to sell those. Oils are going to sell too, because people are going to need to anoint their necklaces. These div cards will sell because people will need small things. You'll get a ton of stack decks, and overall, like, you should be swimming in currency at the end of your Blight maps, and you shouldn't really have a problem, especially with Blight just being like a thing that's going to be on every 15 minutes. If you don't want to farm your own blighted maps, they should just be in the plenty, and we should be able as players to get a ton of them, like an absolute ton of them. I know I'll be farming them. I know people in the community will be farming them. And overall, like you see right now, we just get a bunch of oils. We get some fossils. All of this stuff sells. We get some fusing, some jewelers, some chisels, and you just kind of roll with it. Now, there's a bunch of loot on the floor still. There's a bunch of like rares I'm going to go look at that might be upgrades for my character to progress. And overall, just like any old thing, Blight is going to produce money, and it's going to produce results. But the big thing that I want to take away, and the big thing I want to point, is that one map gave me 79% experience. That was only a tier 11 map. It was only a tier 11. Now imagine if that was a 13, a 14, a 15, or a 16, and you just had a whole stack of them and you didn't even have to worry. Gets really good. Now, like I said, in the description down below, there'll be the POE Atlas tree that you could follow. There'll be a bunch of things for you guys to look at. And, you know, if you have any questions, feel free to stop by the Discord. Feel free to stop by the Twitch stream. I'll answer any of your questions that you have. And, you know, I hope that you guys have a really good event. Me personally, I'm going to go do my next blighted map. I'll include that at the end of this after my little spiel here, and you guys can watch that and see how the experience flows in there. But for now, friends, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for tuning in. And if you like this type of content or you want more, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, share, do all that fun jazz. YouTube really appreciate it. I know I really appreciate it. And it really helps out the channel a lot. So for now, friends, I'm going to go do this Blighted map. I'm going to make this video for you guys, and I'll hopefully catch you in the live stream or see you in the next video. For now, friends, so long, farewell, goodbye!
The Blight is trying to spread!